Well, hi everyone, Mr. Marty here on the West Coast. I've rebuilt my forge. Actually, partially rebuilt it. The other one was okay, and you may have seen in another video. I relined it with some high temperature mortar, but as I suspected, it would probably crumble away, and that's what it's doing. I can reline it with Satanite, and I can still use the old one, but it's a bit small, and being round, I don't believe that's actually the right shape for me. So I've got some bricks, some fire bricks. Actually, they use these in pizza ovens, and I used house bricks, cow wool, and some scrap steel that I have around the place. I haven't quite finished it. I've got to cut a hole for the burner, and there's a few things in there that aren't quite right. But if you stick with me, I'll show you how I did it. Alright, let's try voiceover again. I don't usually like doing these, they take a long time. And it's very hard to get the voiceover right all the way through first time. But here goes, I'll have a try. The reason I'm doing it this way though is because actually I haven't got all the clips of this build together that I really want. Some I missed, and you'll see that I've just used stills to put some of them together. But anyway, here are the paving bricks. I call them house bricks, but actually they're paving bricks. And you can see that I'm just cutting both sides of the centre to form the hole there where I can put that burner in there. I'm sorry about the filming, I didn't realise it was zoomed in. I didn't catch everything in the centre of the frame, but you get the general idea. This next one's, this whole bit here, it just wouldn't focus, and so I just saved the very clips that were in focus and made stills out of it. And then you'll see a whole bunch of stills here that I just chose to do instead of making a film of it, because it took some time to place all these in there. And you know, I just felt filming it was just going to be a hell of a lot of digital media in there for almost nothing. But you can see here I'm just building it up, putting layers of cow wool in there just so that's obviously going to be the protection from the heat coming through the forge down into the base and to the outside. This here has suddenly jumped through where I've got all the fire bricks, and what they are is pizza bricks, as I was saying earlier, and they're 1 inch thick. And I just got a box of them from Bunnings, and then you can see I've got the cow wool draped around it, and I'm marking where the burner's going to go through the fire bricks as well. Now you can see it's dark outside, and I've been all day sort of working on this, and I went outside and cut them in the dark, so I couldn't really film it properly anyway, so you know, that's why there's no film of me cutting that. But it was the same process of cutting the paving bricks. Here I'm just taking it apart now because I'm actually going to get ready to relocate it in its new position. And so here you see how it's actually looking after I've put it together very roughly so that I could make sure it works. Here is the scrap metal housing I've got on the outside. And now you see me drilling through for the burner. So there you go, just fitting it so then I can mark where the burner's got to go ultimately. But anyway, so we move forward now. I've taken it apart obviously, and I'm now going to start stripping the paint off of that scrap metal. It's no good having that on there when the forge is up and running. It will just burn off and cause all that horrible toxic burning paint fumes. Now what you'll see though when this is stripped, this is also galvanised, and what I had to do was make sure that I sanded the whole lot back and got all the galvanising off of it, because that getting hot will also give off toxic gases. I can't have that. You may have missed it just now, but I did also soak, I cut some pieces for the door and I soaked those in vinegar and I left those overnight. These are the ones here, so this is after I've soaked them and sanded them all down so there's no galvanising material on it whatsoever. And even that plate there that goes on the top, you can see has been all sanded off. Right. So they're all safe from galvanised. Now here's the various components that I'm now going to put together for the door assembly. You can see here those tubes I've cut are now going to be filled with kale wool. And really wasn't sure if it's going to work or not, but it seems to be okay. I mean, it still gets hot. The heat travels through where those joins are. But what I should have done is put a layer of kale wool between those three pieces you can see there and the plate that goes on top. That would have helped a lot. I guess I can easily do that. I'll do that some other time. So it's just screwing the thing together. And that rod there with a circle on the end is really just the handle. And you will see it in operation a bit later on. But that round ring there does spin around. So as I hold it, I move the door up. That will just spin accordingly. So it's quite comfortable to hold. So I'm just using tack screws. I find that they go into steel as long as you drill a hole which is just a bit smaller than the tack screw. These are actually timber tack screws, but I find they go into steel no problem at all, and they've never come undone on me for anything. So I had a whole bunch of these left over from a job I did not that long ago. So I'm slowly using them up around the workshop. Well, there you go, so the assembly's done. And now you can see, filming is a little bit arse about, but you can see the door put together. That was before I stripped the paint off, obviously. But you can actually see how it was put together. And I've got the steel strapping around it as well. I had a couple of goes at that. But you can see there it's nice and square and it's quite long. It will take a fairly long blade. But I think I might eventually have to put a second burner in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the temperatures I really want. So here it is in its new location, door all done, all sanded out and put together. Even the burners in there you can see. You might also notice the old burner sitting right next to it behind the tempering oven there. I'll use that at some point. So really, that's it. I'm just giving it a try now. Actually, I have had this going once, but there you go. This is me actually making the butt cap for a tanto style knife I'm making, and you'll see the second part being uploaded very soon. And that's about it. I broke the thermocouple and the reader that goes with it, so I've got one on order. I will be installing that, I should say, soon. But and then I'll do an update and let you know how it's going when I actually do that. So all good for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be in touch again soon. Bye bye.